You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Elimination Chamber After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Elimination Chamber After Show.
Yeah! Elimination Chamber After Show. Burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it! Boys and girls are sleeping right now, but ladies and men, you are tuned in live to AfterBuzz TV, brought to you by Bing, where Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another live after show recap for the pay-per-view Elimination Chamber, residing from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Ooh, yeah!
And we got a special little crew. I mean, my tag team of broadcast brilliance, as I like to say. We'll start all the way here at the end. We got Showtime Josh Padgett.
Boom.
We got next to him the Colonel Ryan Clum, and you guys are going to be getting new nicknames
New
soon.
nicknames?
Not yet.
A special
I'll no longer be named after corn.
A newcomer to the table since I've been here, at least. I know she's done some shows before I was hosting.
She was here before you.
Kaori Takee.
Hello,
Kaori Takee. And and in the chair, he doesn't even get a comfortable chair. He gets a folding chair.
No, not couch boy tonight. I'll be chair guy in the corner.
The voice of choice, Christian Rosenberg.
Christian, you might want to move your mic to your mouth too. Because
we're not
far away.
getting
We can't even hear you.
Don't even hear you.
He's from the SmackDown.
Yeah, he's smack. Oh, there.
Right. Am I good?
Yeah, now that it's been turned on.
We gotta move you up.
Just move it up.
Yeah, it doesn't work when it's touching your chin
Yeah.
or your cheek.
What if I just
You
get
gotta
my hand over the whole
twist,
time?
actually.
I've been doing
Man, it's late tonight, gentlemen.
Oh my God, I'm just like ready to pass
I'm tired.
We started, and lady, I said, and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I mean, we started the
gentlemen.
cocktails and the drinking early. Start off the pay-per-view 4:30ish and pre-show, and I've had some libations.
We've been waiting around for 2.5 hours.
Major libations, yeah, for 5 hours, 6 hours.
It's been a while. Did you guys? I know Christian and I caught it. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see any of the pre-show.
No, I did not.
The three of us didn't get there in time.
Unfortunately, we were waiting in line for Chinese food.
Gotta love LA
Unbelievable.
traffic.
But we needed that Chinese food desperately.
Two things that took place. One, you had the matchup between Rhodes Scholars and who I'll call
Okay.
the Lords of Funk, the new tag team of Brodus,
Lords
Yeah.
of Funk.
of Brodus
I like
Clay
that.
and
The
Lord
Lords of Funk.
Tensai. And then there was also a promo by Randy Orton who gave his little hype up
Okay.
for being in the chamber. And he said he is a man hell-bent on headlining WrestleMania, and he is in fact more dangerous than the chamber itself.
I'll give you
I
that.
was very intimidated by
He's
that.
been in a lot of chamber matches, right?
A ton of them.
He
He's
has.
Jericho's been in the most, I think, but he's got to be up there.
Jericho,
close for
Orton, and
two,
Triple
right?
H,
He's
I
been in-
think, are like
WWE's
the most.
Apex
I know
Predator.
it's Jericho because he always
Jericho,
talks
hands
about
down.
it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even leading up to this, he was talking about how he's been in the most. But
What do you think? Does he got a shot? Is he going to win the chamber tonight?
who's that?
You know, we've seen it already, but did you think he had a chance of winning the
Randy
chamber?
Orton?
For sure.
No, my
He's over.
favorites coming in were it was definitely Mark Henry.
Yeah.
And Swagger coming in just because we had one of the people on Facebook on YouTube make a pretty good.
And they were pretty accurate.
They
Yeah,
were.
when
but
I first saw that comment the other day about the anti-American
It
and
made
then the Del
sense.
Rio, I changed my view. Of
I forget
Mark
who
Henry.
was it. Was that Damian Cage
And you
on
see,
there?
like-
I forget who it was that posted on there, but
And
whoever
with-
did made.
Yeah, with that,
made
like,
good
I
sense.
totally agree with it, but I just thought, like, that would be a non-title match. Del Rio, Swagger at WrestleMania. So, going into this, I was definitely high on Mark Henry or RKO, for sure.
Mark Henry or Jericho for me, just because Jericho had been
Oh, yeah,
so
Jericho
hot
for
coming
sure.
back.
I was thinking
and-
going in with everything that was set up, either Mark Henry or Jericho.
Yeah.
And I was on
Yeah,
Henry
yeah,
or
yeah.
Swagger.
Yeah, and you made a good point about possibly Jericho and a Ziggler then cashing in and maybe doing something with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, first matchup was that pre-show matchup. Rhodes Scholars taking on the Lords of Funk.
Back together.
Back together. Essentially,
One
Damian
night
Sandow.
only, they said. One
walking,
night only.
Walking down the entranceway, Sandow on the mic says there was an outcry on Tout and Twitter demanding a reunion.
After 2 weeks.
And then Cody Rhodes demanded that the audience stand up and give a round of applause for the Rhodes Scholars reunion.
Indeed.
How was the Rhodes Scholars reunion since we missed it?
I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the finish, which you've been
match.
talking about with the double splash, which is really
I love
cool.
their finishing move. The 2 big guys did just a double splash. I thought that was cool because
I've never seen that before. I don't think. I mean, it's pretty basic, but
good
I've never
sign
seen
in
it.
the crowd during this match too. Someone had a sign where it was a picture of Brodus and Tensai, and it said "Are funky," and then it was a picture of Sandow and Rhodes, and it said "Smells funky."
That's good.
No, it
I'm
was
liking
good.
this little group of the Lords of Funk.
I didn't like that Cody Rhodes was wearing the same color gear as
Yeah, you
Brodus
mentioned that.
Clay.
Oh,
He was
I didn't
wearing
see
the
that.
blues. Brodus came out in the
Didn't know
blue
that.
and whites. Cody was wearing blue and white. When Brodus wrestled, he was wearing blue and black, but came out wearing blue and whites for the warm-up suit. And
Should have color coordinated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was matching the Funkadactyls, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Now, is this something you wrestlers like? You know,
I do.
You come with multiple
Come
colors,
with
right?
I'd say at least 2 to 3 outfits
I
in
have
the bag.
2. I have 2 that are completely different. So I have like green and purples, and I have like my reds. And
But if I-
someone's wearing red, I'll switch.
Yeah,
into
if I saw
greens.
my opponent wearing the same
Yeah.
color that I was planning, I'm going to switch my colors.
And
Right.
also, like, if you're tagging with somebody you don't usually tag with, and then you match your stuff up as well with each other.
Learned a couple of fun facts during this match on commentary. I learned that Cody Rhodes wrestles at a 4.8% body fat.
Really?
Really?
You think that's
Accurate?
accurate? That's really friggin'
Pretty low, man.
More than pretty low.
Is that even healthy?
That's Terrell Owens level right there.
Looking at him, there's no way he's 4% body. He looks closer to 10 to 12.
And then Stryker was also putting over that Damian Sandow is apparently part of a secret society and has a special secret handshake he makes with William Regal. And he
Really?
gets into black Escalades and various cars that with tinted windows regularly, and he doesn't have to wait in line
That's
at the
exactly what
airports.
Ryan said.
Illuminati. Yes.
Yeah, you throwing out the rock right there.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well,
Beyonce.
it would.
Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're with the Illuminati
And
nowadays.
it's not Illuminati. It would be like the Freemasons. The
The
Illuminati
Freemasons.
are supposedly a very small,
right.
tiny group of people at the top. They would not be
At the
the
top
Illuminati.
of the Freemasons.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you
yes,
saying
yes.
Damian Sandow would not be in that?
He would not be an Illuminati, but he might
That's what I'm
work for the
saying.
Illuminati.
Ah, gotcha.
I mean, that intellectual savior of the masses may be one of those elite few.
Maybe
could
he
be.
is.
He
Maybe
could
he
be.
is.
Another sign that I noticed is so they ran a package pre-show. We're finishing up the pre-show, so they ran the hype package about The Rock. And there was a sign in the crowd that this little kid was holding up. And it says, "My mommy wants a piece of The Rock."
Oh yeah.
I thought that's
I want a
pretty-
piece of the rock.
Whoa.
Great pair. Hey, excuse me.
And here's the
Excuse
thing.
me.
We got a for the
Do you
people
think
who,
the
for our
kid-
listeners and viewers who don't know that we got a couple here on the table
Oh,
between
Yeah, we gotta
Mr.
split
Padgett.
up right now.
You
Real
know
life
that
white on rice.
that white on rice he's always talking about, and then
This
she's
is
saying
the white on rice.
she wants to dump you for a little rock poi.
Yeah, you want to throw a little Samoan in there, huh? Is that right?
Do you think? Do you think that kid made that poster, or do you think mom made that and said, "Here, you hold this up. You hold this up, and hopefully The Rock will see it."
Wow.
Do you know what the pay-per-view was brought to us by, sponsored by this year? This year?
G.I. Joe, right?
G.I. Joe Retaliation and
Yeah.
the Power Slammers, the first wrestling toys that
Oh.
actually wrestled.
We need to get some of those.
We would
Yeah.
have way too much fun with those.
Oh yeah.
Have like 10 of them.
We get a
right here.
matches right here.
First
A battle royal
matchup
on the
of the
desk.
pay-per-view. Who would you guess? We were trying to think before it started who's going to start off this pay-per-view. Is it going to be Cesaro versus Miz for the United States
That's what I would have
Championship?
thought. Yeah.
No.
That would have made sense. but
World Heavyweight Championship.
Same opener as last pay-per-view.
Yep, second pay-per-view in a row.
Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez on the intro. 12.9 seconds is what I clocked in
Very
today.
nice. Very nice.
And he takes on Big Show. Del Rio in a new red scarf and a red trunk combination.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I liked it.
Kaori's
Even though Del Rio
Kaori's just
kind
smiling.
of glitched a couple times, and
He glitched like
She calls it glitched.
like
She
a
doesn't know
computer.
botch.
Like
There
a
was a
computer
glitch in the
program.
Matrix.
There was a glitch.
He glitched. I like it. I like it. He
Botched.
glitched.
No, the glitch is like the polite way of saying
Yes,
it.
yes.
There
was a
like during this
mistake
broadcast
during-
right now. I'm glitching a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. What did I write down about this? corner slam. You know, I don't like when Big Show does that thing where he comes off, you know, with the splash in the corner, like the Vader slam kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Vader bomb.
It's so soft looking. He lands so on his hands and knees.
And also the fact that Swagger and Mark Henry also
both do it.
And the fact, when he does
Swagger goes to the elbow. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, Big Show. Big Show used to go to the elbow, is what it was.
And Big Show, that really should be a finisher for him if he's gonna do that. You know, I mean, Vader used to kill people with that move.
Right.
And he's way bigger than Vader was. So.
Yeah, ADR set up the cross arm breaker
several times.
Yeah, Big Show trying to grab the ropes. Ricardo doing a good job of keeping them away from him. Del Rio hit Ray's seated senton off the top rope today as well. You know, like just the.
He did that before, and you had mentioned that.
I did.
Was that the Rumble you mentioned
It's a repeat again.
Yeah.
So he's rocking the leg spread, just jumping legs out
just
over.
Stealing Ray's stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
he is stealing Ray's moves left and right.
Well, because
he's a face now.
Ray's hurt now, right now, though, isn't he?
Something happened to Ray because he's gone again.
Yeah.
I think that they explained the injury with the World's Strongest Slam last Monday, I believe, right?
Oh, did they?
I think so. They put him in Sin Cara. I think he's supposedly injured because of that.
How did this one come to an end,
Yeah,
gentlemen?
well, I would have loved.
Cross arm breaker. He won by submission.
Yeah, he just won by
there was
he submitted
and
the
the
Big
tap.
Show.
But there was a glitch, if you remember, in the
Yes,
corner
there
when
was
he
the
went the
glitch.
kick.
Oh, he went
The bucket.
The Enziguri kick, and
it missed.
He slipped and then did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Show knocked Ricardo off the apron and was holding the bucket like, and he waited for like a millennium.
Right.
And,
solid
missed the kick.
match.
Yeah.
Not as good as
the last two,
man
even.
stand.
Yeah, the last two were
not
awesome.
The original last man standing match from the pay-per-view, not the Raw one.
Right,
but
or the SmackDown one.
Yeah.
SmackDown,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would've
But both
loved
of
to have
those, I
seen,
think, are probably better than this. But
Yeah.
this was still decent.
I mean, it was still
a good
good.
opener.
The crowd was way behind Del Rio for the opener. So, I mean, it did its purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
Now,
a good match.
Would you have believed this would have killed the WM&D? But I was hoping, like, yeah, Del Rio's supposed to win this match, but if in the armbar, Big Show picks him up, and he's standing up with him, and then boom, right in the chin.
You're incredible. You should be agenting the matches.
That would be that would be awesome if
And
Big
then
Show
Del
was
Rio
going to
kicks
win it.
out,
But
or Ricardo like does something to save the pin. I thought that would have been an awesome spot.
That-
And I was
that
waiting
could've
to
been
see
cool.
it.
That would have been a great spot if Big Show won.
Yeah, and it would have been definitely a big, great spot for Big Show to win.
I thought that
but
was
it
cool.
might be a little bit hard to work in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't want Del
situation.
Rio kicking out of that.
Yeah.
Well, if Ricardo like grabbed Del Rio's like foot and put it on the rope or something, that would have been fun.
It's a great idea, but all great ideas don't work for every match.
Damn it.
It's just the way it is. It's then you know, if you have an idea and it doesn't work for that match, you tuck it away for the next
Because
one.
yeah, Big Show picked him up and threw him off of him on the second armbar or something. You know.
But that is a good spot. That could,
But a solid
work in a match between them.
Solid match. Those two can't have a bad
Solid.
match.
Solid.
A couple glitches.
Solid.
What do you
but
gotta say?
They work
other
well
than-
together.
Go ahead,
They
Corey.
work well
I want to ask you guys a question because you guys
Ask
are
us.
wrestlers,
Uh-huh.
and I've seen you guys wrestle. I've seen he got kicked in the face.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys get more offended when you're kicked in the face rather than slapped in the face or hit in the face? Because for me, it's like, man, the foot to the face.
Any contact gets you pissed
Gosh.
off.
I mean, that's more of a brutal thing, but I think getting slapped in the face
It's
is
more
insulting
humiliating.
and
Really?
it's more
you don't
humiliating.
slap
Yeah,
in the
it's
face.
because you look someone in the eye and you slap them in the face. And what are you going to do about it?
But what if you get slapped by a foot? Doesn't that feel?
That hurts
I mean, you
more,
get
but
kicked
I mean,
in the face.
That guy's kicked in the face. You're gonna be down. You're not gonna be really thinking much about that. That hurts a lot more.
But the most offending is when you're spit in the face.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which we'll get into
Squish.
later.
Oh
Get to.
yeah.
We will
that
get
one.
into that later.
See what I did?
Foreshadowing
See what I
by
did there?
Christian.
Yeah.
You guys are silly. You guys are silly. You guys are kooky. Did you guys
Yeah.
have some drinks
We had
also?
Stella
I did not.
vodka. Yeah.
Antonio Cesaro taking on The Miz for the United States Championship, the second consecutive title defense on this pay-per-view.
Right.
Antonio Cesaro is, I mean, how many times are we going to say it?
It's
Week
awesome,
after
yeah.
week after
It's
week
getting
in,
a
week
little bit
out.
old.
He's the man.
He's pretty awesome, man. Cesaro working the injured shoulder of the
Great.
of the Miz.
He comes out like wrapped up, like his
Yeah.
whole upper
Well, I mean,
body
he was
wrapped up.
destroyed from those giant swings to the barricade
Damn right.
this last week on Raw.
Yeah, and working a lot of different holds on that arm.
Working
which
that
was
arm, he
great.
hit a beautiful hammerlock shoulder breaker.
Yeah.
Had Miz hoisted up, had the hammerlock, dropped it down, and ooh, just devastating.
Yeah, he was going for like he was trying to jump over Antonio, and he stopped and went, "No, I got you." boom,
And
right
a
on that
somewhat
shoulder.
interesting finish on this match.
Right?
Where
Very
the
unique. Never
Miz
seen
was in
anything like this.
control, kind of going for a shot to the midsection, and while going for it, Cesaro kicks out Miz's leg, forcing Miz to end up kneeing Cesaro in the groin.
The family
Referee
jewels.
disqualified him for a low blow.
And
Yeah.
Cesaro really selling that.
Which I Cesaro was even like pointing like, did
And
you
that's
see
the
what
thing.
he did?
And
He
there was like a
said, "Look it."
hesitation by the referee, which was
He
great.
said, "Ding, ding the bell," because he got
he
my
said this,
ding-a-ling.
and the referee kind of looked and took a second and then rang the bell. I thought it was played off
Very
by all,
UFC, MMA style, right?
very much so, very much so.
Miz pleading his case. The ref said, no, you hit him like that. Cesaro selling, getting out of there. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I haven't seen it like that. I mean, it's not something I want to see repeated a million times, but it was something
Have you been
new
hitting the
I'd
balls
never
a lot?
seen. What's that?
You've ever been hitting the balls in
Of course,
athletic competition?
I think anybody who's done sports probably has.
How about you, Katz? Have you been?
I mean, a couple times. I mean, as an amateur wrestler, you
wrestling, yeah.
learn that when you get hit in the balls, you should get in a seated position and let your coach just like bounce you and kind of bounce them back out into
Really?
place. Yeah,
Wow.
you do a little bouncing.
Is it the same for females? Is it taboo to get the boobs kind of?
Well, y'all don't have
smashed?
testicles.
Well, what
a
about
big-
our boobies?
Yeah,
And
that's
The
I mean,
boobies,
it's different, but
no,
it's,
it's a little
I'm
different.
sure it's.
We have like major organs outside of our body.
yeah.
You know, that's
It's
a serious.
an
I mean,
incredibly
if
bad
we're gonna
flaw.
compare
Terrible
visually,
design
I
flaw.
think that the boobies are generally a more major of an organ than some little nuts. But
balls.
thank you,
we
thank
we,
you.
That is-
we
it is.
feed the human race with our seed. The boobs are feed
the
too.
boobs feed the
The
human
boobs
race
also feed.
with their
But
nutrients.
You can use formula
You know
for
what?
that.
You know what?
know?
We feed the balls. I don't even get.
Oh wow! Transition over. This is a good
All
thing we are a
right.
late night show. Kane and Daniel Bryan hanging out in the backstage area. Some interesting exchange. Something about looking angry and not being
Yeah.
a dwarf. And then Kane says, "Well, it looks like you look like one of the 7 dwarfs. I'm not grumpy. I'm focused."
Yeah.
And it was kind of whatever. And then finally, Kane finishes with what the whole promo was really about.
Which is, yeah, it's
and then
good.
in 15 years of being in the WWE, he has never main evented a WrestleMania, and that's what his goal is, to win this elimination
That
chamber.
got real. That got my my markisms going.
Yeah.
Real big.
Your
I was-
Markisms.
I don't know what I would call it, but like I mean I
Anticipation?
could feel it. I could feel it from like middle school
He
on.
could
I'm like,
feel it.
ah
Middle school,
man.
so what, like
I'm like,
puberty?
yeah,
What?
Kane,
tonight.
seeing your like 2001, your big
Hold
return, beating up
on.
X-Pac and Triple H. I'm like, yes, you deserve it. You deserve it, Kane. What was he? The dentist?
You're
he was
adorable.
Isaac Yankem.
Yeah,
Isaac Yankem.
DBS
Amen.
from Decatur.
Josh is adorable, man.
Isn't he?
I-
so adorable.
A big fan. I mean,
I love it.
I
I
find
love
the
it.
Katie Vick.
enthusiasm.
Katie Vick. Let's go. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Triple
man.
H?
Of course.
Oh, of course you do, guys.
Yeah,
you
man.
guys are the experts. Oh my God.
Which by the
What was that? Was that a
which
sound
is very
effect?
funny if you watch.
Is that just my mic acting up again? This is what I get for being the chair
We
guy.
got
I
like
have the- I have
I was
the,
waiting for like the
faulty
whoosh.
mic.
I was like, what's coming up? Was
I
there?
have the fault. The mic keeps hitting my collar. I'm trying to like adjust
Just
it every
get it to your
minute.
mouth. That's all we want.
All right, the
gonna
actual
hold it like this the
elimination
whole
chamber
time.
matchup already up to deck. Third
Yeah.
match in, and we get the pay-per-view's namesake. The chamber drops. I mean, it's a menacing contraption.
crazy looking thing.
Entrance first, Swagger with Zeb Coulter, a little mic work.
New music.
The music, good promo.
Yeah, it was
Um,
solid.
And then the promo with the We the
Solid.
People.
We the people.
He's trying to. He's really trying to make
push
We the
that
People
catchphrase.
happen.
We the people.
You
Don't
gotta just
try
let-
to make We the
You
People
gotta
happen.
just let those happen.
And then Kane came in second, followed by Mark Henry, followed by Randy Orton, followed by Daniel Bryan,
So we know
followed by
Jericho.
the Brian Y2J
Jericho.
gonna start us off.
Yeah.
Solid.
Y2J. Yeah, man, good start off right there. We get some nice exchange of moves between Jericho and Daniel Bryan. Both of them really trying to finish each other off with some submission right from the get-go. With Bryan trying to hook up the no-lock. Jericho going for the walls. Essentially, Swagger was the first to come in from the pods.
Right.
And he came in hard, man. He came in aggressive
Yeah,
with
he
a
did.
huge
Swagger's looking
spine buster,
good.
huge spine buster on Jericho. Jericho was hurting, and then Swagger right after Daniel Bryan, who was on the outside, and just keeping the aggression going through.
I'm liking this new Jack Swagger with Jeb Coulter.
Loving it.
Yeah, with this
very much so.
aggression,
I'm
essentially,
loving it.
Michael Cole selling this new attitude, essentially saying that the real American takes what he wants.
I like it.
And then he started driving Daniel Bryan into the cage, and then his face into the steel floor of the Elimination Chamber. He was angry. Y2J starts to fire back, looking for some crowd support, and the crowd starts chanting Y2J. Big support. I mean, he's definitely, I would say, one
Very
of the
hot crowd all night.
most over in that
Very much
match
so.
for sure. Until the next chamber pod opens up, and we get Kane. Kane comes in with offense on Swagger and Jericho, leading to a double team between Hell No.
Yeah, they teamed up a little bit here for a second.
Taking on them too. Then Daniel Bryan tries to pin
This is
Kane.
awesome.
Loved it.
This is great.
Quick little roll up right there. Tries to pin Kane, and then he gives a whoa. Wait a second.
He tried to get a little hug action.
And then tried to
going.
hug it out, make things a little bit better.
The
And
yes and no argument too.
It was fun.
And the audience was behind Kane on that one.
Yes.
Yep. Because Kane then points at the WrestleMania sign, right? And he's like, "I'm going there. You know, I don't want to do this hugging stuff anymore."
Jericho ends up hoisting Daniel Bryan up on his shoulders. Kane climbs up, hits him with the Doomsday device.
It's nice.
Little
Nice
tribute
to see.
to Hawk and Animal right
Yeah.
there. Swagger goes for the cover on Daniel Bryan, but no. Kane ended up hitting a huge suplex on Swagger. And then Orton comes in. Chambers are opening up. The pods are opening up. Orton in. Offense on Swagger. Offense on Jericho. Goes for a double superplex. Swagger almost gets killed in this sequence. Both alternate turnbuckles set up for the double superplex.
Oh yeah, Swagger stayed in the middle when the
Rolled
other
into
one
the middle
came
of the ring
instead of rolling out to the ropes.
Yeah, it was sort of like a foot away from them falling on his ankle.
He almost got hit, and that would have been his fault. Yeah.
Mark Henry gets the nod that it's time for his pod to open up, and he's yelling that he wants in before he even gets the countdown. He's saying, I want in. Finally, he gets in. Mark Henry cleans house, hits a huge World's Strongest Slam on Daniel Bryan.
And what's interesting about this is everybody was in before an elimination, so we had all 6 guys wrestling in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times you would think wouldn't happen.
And I was hoping like Mark Henry was going to do something with this Elimination Chamber. Like I thought he was like, I want to get in so bad. I thought he was going to like rip the door off.
He did something right here. Actually, this is the big moment.
But this was his
big moment right here is he takes Randy Orton and he throws him face first through the pod glass with authority, and Orton was essentially out for the rest of the match at that point.
And also with it, the huge crowd reaction for
your
Henry
mic sounds
Cross.
phenomenal right now.
Because he just switched it up. It's crazy. Now the mic's on this side.
Sweet.
What a concept.
Henry with power, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. For me, he was a scene stealer. I really wanted him to win while I was watching it because he was doing so good. He's so strong. And he's throwing people around. I mean, I just liked.
Kane climbs up.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I just noticed Kaori's rings. Those are kind of
pretty badass, right?
Pretty wild looking.
And then she got little spiky earrings.
Yeah,
but they're like rings underneath her fingers. I'm sorry. They're just.
Yeah,
they're
not like
Thank
full
you.
rings.
They're
very
no
cool.
mustache mood rings.
They are no mustache mood.
Available
ring.
at
That is absolutely for
IamSmiley.com.
sure.
And while you're bringing up plugs, let's talk about iTunes, where you can go check us out. You can go
such a good
subscribe,
segue tonight.
rate, comment, tell a friend, do what you got to do. Give us a 5-star rating, and it's all easy and only takes a minute.
Yeah.
Man, Henry Kane went climbing up to the top. Henry caught him. Caught the big man. Caught him. World's Strongest Slam gets the 3 count, and here we're sitting there thinking Henry's going to beat everybody.
Yeah, which would have been
behind
awesome.
I was getting behind him.
Yeah.
Face support
It
for
would have
Mark
been a
Henry.
cool way to go.
People like Mark Henry, man, lately.
Yeah, you were saying like his ratings. Yeah, he does well on the ratings.
I read a little
right?
stat that said last week's SmackDown, his return was the highest rated SmackDown in a year. And then if you go back to when he was the champion on SmackDown in 2011, when he was the champ, highest rated SmackDown when he was the champion.
And that would have been about a year ago that he was the champ, right? So highest rating since he was the champ.
Yeah,
much.
man.
Yeah.
So,
Mark Henry equals ratings.
Fans are popping for him. They love the destruction.
Everybody was behind him.
They
He
want the
was,
Hall of Fame.
and he's a heel, and everyone was popping for him tonight.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
when he was coming back, I was like, oh man, I want to see more. But
Oh yes.
You think you think that this domination is going to continue, but Jericho's able to counter the attack, and then Swagger and Jericho are able to work Henry into the cage, repeatedly slamming him into the chamber itself, and then they set up a double suplex onto the metal floor.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That was a
Rough bump, man.
very loud bump.
Yeah, man, he takes it.
that would probably really hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was on metal.
Yeah.
That hurts in the ring.
So imagine
When you're
that.
400 pounds and two guys are doing that on a metal grate, it really hurts. I can
I-
guarantee
yeah.
you that. He's feeling that one right. He's not going to sleep wonderfully tonight, I'm sure.
He gets set up on his back in the middle of the ring. Jericho goes for the lion salt. Henry stops it, throws Jericho into the chamber, and says, "That's what I do."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That is what he does.
That's what I do.
It should be illegal for someone like Mark Henry to compete in the chamber, they said.
He's too strong.
It's too strong.
I like it.
Swagger goes for a big boot, only to have Swagger hits the big boot on Mark Henry. Henry turns into a code breaker from Jericho, and then who was waiting there in the outskirts of the ring?
Mr. RKO.
RKO. Randy Orton hits that RKO for the win, and Mark Henry is eliminated, and we were all in shock and disappointed.
But
As he walks out of the cage.
ovation from the crowd as he left.
And we were all, as they were showing him walking, going, "Go back.
Yeah.
Go back and
right?
kill
Camera's on
somebody."
And he does.
He does.
And he goes back to the ring, and he delivers a world's strongest slam to everyone who's
Everyone
still there,
gets one.
laying them all out. Then the refs come out, and Teddy and Booker T come out, and they're trying to stop him. And they do a good job. I got to say, great job of general managing by Booker T, who was able to stop the destructive onslaught of Mark Henry.
According to JBL, he is the greatest manager, greatest general manager in sports today. That's
Hey,
what JBL keeps
he
saying.
put a stop to the world's strongest
JBL
man tonight.
JBL's always right. So.
JBL is always right.
Action picks back up in the ring. Jericho and Randy Orton send Jack Swagger head first into a pod. Keep working over until Swagger is able to put the Patriot Act on Randy Orton. Jericho comes in with a counter, and then only to receive a Patriot Act of his own. Countered to the walls of Jericho. Orton then comes with a backbreaker, false finish, not enough to finish it, but it seemed like it was potentially going to be the end right there. Orton sets them both up with the double rope DDT, his DDT with the hangman style on the ropes. People are going crazy. And let me say, there was some awesome, awesome camera work during this match.
We were talking about that because of the way the platforms are, that it gives them a really good angle on.
Yeah, I mean, just on that move itself, the camera was just in such a perfect positioning.
Now, what are y'all talking about? The platforms?
To the Elimination
Outside of the
Chamber,
cage
because there's a floor around the. So normally the cameraman's going to either be on the apron or be on the floor.
Okay.
But because of the chamber, and it's got the border around the ring, there's like 6 feet that you can
They
walk
can just
around.
walk around and be on the same level as all the rest.
So that they're still on the same level as the apron without being so close, so they can
Nice.
set up the distance and get some cleaner shots.
Yeah. And they don't have to worry about falling off the apron or anything. They can just be free to move around. It was
It helps out a lot.
Yeah, it was great shots tonight. because
Orton
of it.
tries to hit the RKO on Jericho. Jericho counters, goes for the lion salt. No. RKO, Randy Orton ends up hitting hits the RKO on Jericho, gets the 3 count, and then boom, out of nowhere when Randy Orton gets up, Jack Swagger grabs a schoolboy quick 1, 2, 3 roll up.
loved it.
Your winner and current #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, Jack Swagger.
The real American.
Great match.
I like it. I mean, if I'm personally writing it, I don't know that's how I write the show, but I liked it.
Well, that's-
it was great. It was surprising. It was cool.
Yeah, when I filled in on SmackDown a few weeks ago, I was saying, like, what if you have the All-American American against
I
the
saw that,
Mexican of Del Rio, but the American is the heel
It's
in New
interesting.
York. That's what we got.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So it'd be really interesting to see how the crowd reacts.
Yeah,
to
how
it.
does the crowd react, do you
That's
think?
what we're going to find out.
Be very interesting.
Yeah. They're going to be very behind Del Rio, I got to imagine.
And now I got to think, like, Ziggler's going to make a WrestleMania debut with the Money in the Bank.
Something's
He's
gonna
gonna
happen
he's
with
gonna
him.
make his own WrestleMania moment
Yeah,
happen
that's
then,
probably
right? I mean, he didn't show up during the Del Rio match
Yeah,
tonight.
even though I was saying, we were talking earlier, that I think it would be interesting to have Ziggler not cash in at WrestleMania, and you're starting to get closer to Money in the Bank, and it's like, dude, that's expiring in 3 weeks. You've got to use that at some point. And, you know, it becomes a little bit of a, is he going to let it expire?
Yeah.
Is there going to...
I mean, this is the thing that I'm thinking. I know you hate predictions, so I'm just going to do this really quick. Because I think whatever happens with Del Rio Swagger, will happen early in the card. Ziggler cashes in. He's set to wrestle Jericho later that night. Then they say, now you're the champion. Now you're defending the title against Jericho.
Ooh.
So 2 World Heavyweight title defenses at Mania.
I think
that's my prediction.
Oh,
I know you hate predictions,
booking
but.
team, listen.
Right there.
I like that. That's
pretty
good.
cool.
I think that's great.
But
I think that's a good idea.
I was telling Josh,
good
like,
idea.
remind me. Try
Yeah.
to remind me about this because I want to talk
He
about
didn't remind you, though.
No.
He didn't.
In a way, I did.
Super Friends taking on the Shield.
I'm sorry,
The
Ryan.
Super Friend.
Well, you know, one of our viewers gave that nickname on the YouTube, and I was a fan. I like the
like
Super
that.
Friends.
I was a big fan of the Super Friends as a
for
kid.
Cena,
Super Friends,
Sheamus,
right?
and Ryback.
Super Friends, Superman and Batman was a great TV show.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
The Wonder Twins.
Taking on the Shield. Small pop for Ryback on this entrance.
Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, it definitely was not
Picks
over
up
with
later in
crowd.
the match. They get behind him, and and they rock the Feed Me
Yeah.
More chants, but
But
not a huge pop for the entrance. I did pop for the Feed Me More Gumbo sign in the crowd. We're in New Orleans, you know.
Yeah, of course.
This match started with action right from the get-go as the Shield made their way to the ring.
Yep.
Broke off into little triple, little groups. Ryback and Roman Reigns, Sheamus and Dean Ambrose, Rollins and Cena fighting from the get-go until the action spilled into the ring, oddly, setting up a triple stalled suplex.
Yeah, which...
Ryback mistimed a little bit.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Monday night, Cena mistimed a little bit, and this night, Ryback mistimed a little bit on the simultaneous finishers.
And then they did that, and then the bell rang and the match started.
Yeah, that was a
it
little
felt weird. Like the
glitch.
timing of that felt strange.
Another glitch.
That opening.
Like, another glitch.
Yeah, but then they got into it.
Ambrose is one hell of a seller, man.
Yes, he is.
The guy's unique, very different, his own style. He is entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
He's got body language that is very effective. Springboard knee by Rollins on Cena that was pretty cool. Roman and Sheamus setting up some story of a potential feud between them.
Roman was intense tonight.
Roman's always intense.
Yeah, people on the internet.
MVP tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. He was definitely MVP of that match.
Spike DDT by Ambrose on Cena. Just threw his body into that DDT. And, I mean, just Ambrose is sick. At that point, that's when the crowd started wanting Ryback. Ryback hadn't been in the match yet.
Yeah.
So Ryback comes in, hits huge back body drops on Ambrose and on Rollins. I mean, that sends. I mean, I thought Rollins was gonna die on one of those. And then there was a power bomb. Roman breaks it up. This thing's awesome, and the brawls, just the level of brawling is stepping up. Sheamus and Roman Reigns fighting on the outside. Roman grabs Sheamus, sends him through the barricade. They break the barricade a lot nowadays.
Yeah, and we've been saying that's the third time at least that I've noticed since the video game came out where you can do that and go through that barricade. They've done it at least 3 times in the last few months, maybe more.
Is that an oh my god moment?
Yeah, it's one of the OMGs from
Save
the
3
new
finishers,
game.
get it going.
Yeah. You can go through that area, and so they've been doing that a lot.
So Roman Reigns saved 3 finishers and was able to send Sheamus through there.
Seth Rollins jumping off the top rope. Ryback catches him in midair, hoists him over his shoulders, setting up shell shock, only to be countered by Dean Ambrose, who hits him right there. Cena ends up hitting the AA, the Attitude Adjuster, on Ambrose. Shell shock gets hit on Rollins, in the attempt of hitting it. Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere, spears Ryback right in the stomach, bringing Rollins right back on top for the cover. 3 count.
Awesome finish.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome finish.
Over. This was a good match.
Probably the
Shield
best finish of the
prevails.
night. I mean, it was a really cool looking finish.
I think they're like the best 6-man tag that I remember seeing in a long time.
Yeah.
Since
Very
TLC,
entertaining.
for sure. I'll say that. Since
Ryback
Shield last
walked
time.
out.
Shield 2 for 2 now, undefeated.
Yeah.
This is
Awesome.
their second match. 2 for
Ryback
2.
walked out on his teammates at the end of the match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish there was a little bit more drama.
Yeah,
I
me
always
too.
ask for a little bit more drama. Like, push Cena. Get the F out of my way. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then
I'd really like to see Sheamus and we were talking before Sheamus and Roman now.
They were mouthing off
to each other.
They're good size.
I'd like
size
to see
comparison.
I think there's a female member on the WWE payroll who may need to be buying either a new skirt or a new slip cover, for under her skirt after this match.
Excuse me?
Well, Lillian Garcia must have crapped her pants
She almost
because
got run over.
she went running for her life.
I would have too. They were coming right for her.
That barricade almost. She almost landed under that broken barricade. It was
that
crazy.
That would have been bad.
Dolph Ziggler makes a surprise little entrance, comes on out for a promo.
Yeah.
Says that he's used to stealing shows and, doing his thing. And then Booker T comes out and says there's a fine line between stealing shows and wasting time. And Booker T gives Dolph Ziggler a match. Dolph versus Kofi Kingston on the paper.
I got a guy in the back who can do everything you do, but better. Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, man. Kofi hits a nice dive on Big E in the match, hits Trouble in Paradise, goes for a beautiful springboard plancha that he got so much air and elevation on.
Well, he's really good at that.
Yeah.
he's
Dolph.
amazing
Okay,
at that.
Dolph and Kofi are up on top, almost like Dolph's gonna hit a superplex on Kofi and just drops him on the top turnbuckle. It was sick. Sets up the zigzag, gets the win. Big E then comes back into the ring, hits Kofi with the some aggressive offense, some hits. Flattens him with like that little running, sandwich clothesline. I don't know what you call it, and then hits the blackout.
Yeah.
And the crowd was chanting that they wanted one more time.
Yeah.
Like they were getting behind it.
This is a good little short I think it was about 5 minutes.
5, 6 minutes.
It was,
Yeah,
just
long.
after the 6-man match, it was just a good short little match to, I think, bring people down a little bit, but still have two great wrestlers put on
great workers,
a quick little show for the guys. I thought it was fine, especially for what it was meant
Perfect,
for.
solid little fill in.
And then to set up like a future
Absolutely.
rivalry between Big E and Kofi, like that's great. Give Ryan, you've been fussing every week about Big E having something to do.
I don't
right?
like Big E with this group. I want him on his own or with somebody else. I mean,
Right.
we were
Yeah,
even
I agree.
saying like, wouldn't it be cool to do like a power lifter group? Turn Ryback heel, Ryback, Mark Henry, and
Big E.
and Big E,
Yeah.
and who else?
Meat.
That's
Yes!
what I was just thinking.
And who?
Oh yeah, all that meat.
Oh, and me. I
The
thought you
three of
said
them.
Zeke, but I was like,
Getting
yeah,
ahead of
throw
yourself
Zeke
over
in
Oh
there.
there.
yeah, man, you throw Ezekiel.
Throw in Ezekiel
man.
Jackson.
That'd be good call, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But throw those 4 guys in. These 4 just giant men that can just go and destroy people. Could be fun.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Big E and I'm like, man, he can pulverize Dolph.
Oh yeah.
If he wanted to.
Yeah, it's just I don't feel like he's clicked with Dolph. I
Right.
feel like they're.
It's a
I don't
weird
feel
group.
they work together. They're both amazing. They're just not right together.
Until he gets some longer tights, I can't take him serious.
Yeah.
I love
short-
the,
he needs
the
leggings.
short tights are phenomenal. They're so awesome.
He loves
Look
that
at my
stuff,
quad.
especially the big men.
Why?
It's so
Look at the glutes.
it's so offensive, but so awesome.
Did she stick one to put giant in those
Feast
and
your
stuff like
Yeah,
that?
man. AfterBuzz TV is owned and operated by Maria Menounos and Kevin
Yes.
Undergaro, and they recently shot, filmed,
Yeah.
produced, and put out a movie. Everybody, Serial Buddies.
Which is so
Yes.
hard to do, by the way. If you don't know what it takes to make a movie, it's incredibly difficult. It takes years of your life to do this.
Theatrical release coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
March 8th, they have their release coming in selected theaters. Serial Buddies. It's funny. It's hilarious.
It is funny.
And so please go watch it and then follow them at serial_buddies on Twitter.
And there you go.
Yeah, there you go. And also don't forget to go to the AfterBuzz store where you can
Pick it
check
up.
out the mugs and the cups like this.
And you can
logo.
pick up,
Right.
and not only after the theatrical release will you be able to get Serial Buddies on DVD,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you can get it on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Always Blu-ray. That's the way to go.
I did the authoring on that.
I like it.
That's right.
I did
No more whispering, all right?
We were whispering because Sweet Tea and Little Brody were hanging out in the back.
I love the whole sweet tea thing.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea, baby.
Sweet Tea and Little Brody playing with some of the new Power figures.
I
Yep.
like those, but I didn't see any female
And
power figures in there.
I'm sure there's a couple.
and
There better be.
and Brodus asked Tensai, "What are those words scribbled on his face?" And Tensai says, "They're supposed to be Japanese words of honor, but knowing my luck, It's probably a sushi menu.
You know, I tried reading those words, but it was so short. I only saw one word that said stikina, which means like kindness. So I thought that was kind of
a little Japanese there.
yeah.
Cameron tells Tensai that he should turn his frown upside down.
Did she call him Sweet Tea too? She called him
She
Sweet
did
Tea,
call him
right?
Sweet
She
Tea.
called him Sweet Tea, and
she also
slapped him in the
smacked
butt.
him on the butt. Yeah.
Woo! He likes Cameron.
I like that
Likes
little
that
crew.
even
I
more.
love the whole
We
group.
all like her.
I like the Lords of Funk.
We do.
I
Lords
love
of
that name,
Funk.
the Lords of Funk, and I love the fact that the girls are showing some personality.
They're great.
Now.
Love 'em.
They're getting involved. They're wrestling. It's like
It's like
instead
almost
of
like
it
a
just
forced
being
stable.
this tag team with these two valets, I'd like all four of them to have a personality, be a little
Yes.
bit of a male-female faction.
Speaking
stable,
of
yeah.
divas, we had a divas match coming up. Tamina taking
Yeah.
on Caitlyn for the Divas Championship.
Your favorite diva of all time.
Man, and I was dressed similar to her. You know, she came out dressed like she was going on a safari. I'm kind of dressed like I'm ready to go on a safari.
She likes
Jurassic Park right
She
there.
likes mustaches. You have a mustache.
It's unbelievable how that works out. Absolutely.
It could be a match made in heaven.
They showed us all the divas watching this match in the back,
All
and,
five
and
of
there
them,
was
all
like
five
only
of them.
5 girls watching.
Well, they say there were a couple missing.
There were a couple missing.
The
Rosa-
Funkadactyls weren't there.
They weren't there.
Yes,
Rosa,
they were. No, Rosa and
Rosa
Alicia.
was not there,
Funkadactyls
and
were
Alicia
there.
Fox
Funkadactyls
were
were
not
there.
there. Funkadactyls were there. Yeah.
Tamina misses the splash in the match. Caitlyn ends up hitting the spear for the win. 1, 2, 3.
Is that
Interesting
all you're
outfit.
gonna talk about it? You're supposed to with the. They like the Divas match.
I was getting back to. I was going to say interesting outfit for Tamina.
There we go.
Yes.
Interesting cut.
I liked it better than the solid ones that
You,
she had.
you don't.
I
you
liked
don't. You don't like
it.
the human cannonball.
Wait, why
cut.
don't-
Giant Gonzalez.
Why do
outfit.
guys have to talk about the outfits of a diva?
you know,
I'm interested.
Wait, I
in
talk
knowing
about
this.
the outfits of the guys all the time
Hey,
too.
we were talking
Did I
about
not
don't-
just talk about Big E Langston's outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
My
talking about
name
the
is
guys.
GQ Money. I mean,
But Tamina's had some weird outfits that we've talked about in the past.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that haven't been exactly flattering to her. So this was I thought this was much better.
oh, Caitlyn actually had a chance to cut a pre-match promo on a pre-record. Also,
Yeah.
it was pretty plain. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about in this match. I don't think it's going to offend our viewers.
Miss
But
Golden era.
But
No, but there
we're
wasn't too
worried
much
about
going on.
There wasn't much.
Tamina
It was
looking
only
a
a few
little
minutes
weak here.
long.
She
oh,
keeps
that's what it
losing.
was. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tamina loses all the time right now. So how are we ever supposed to take her credible as this
Absolutely.
monster diva?
Well, because you only have one Divas match ever, and it's the champion, and then she's.
Yeah, but she's supposed to
Would
be
you
the
guys like
dominant
to
one.
see-
They
She's
never
supposed-
build contenders.
She's supposed to
I
be the
mean,
powerful one since Beth Phoenix left, and they just have her keep losing left.
Well,
and
would
right.
you guys
It
like to
doesn't
see
make any
more
sense.
divas matches?
I'd like to see my one broadcast.
I'd like to be
wouldn't hate
seen
it.
more, but I'd like to see them
Build
to
up,
actually
better
build up a
matches.
storyline.
to actually be
That's fair.
wrestlers, not just eye candy. You know that isn't
Like-
explained
Yes.
why they're doing what they're
I
doing.
completely
actually treat
agree.
these women as credible. You've got Ronda Rousey now, who's becoming this amazing female fighter in the UFC and showing this beautiful woman that's a credible fighter and is a killer. I'd like to see that in the WWE, not just a beautiful woman that's fluff, someone that goes in and is killing people and ripping their arms off and is vicious.
Yeah, like,
I'd like to see that.
Cesaro's girlfriend, Sarah, what's her name?
Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del
Yeah,
Rey.
I want to see more of her.
You're not going to
You're
see
not
more
gonna
of
see
her.
her. She is training the girls right now
I
that
know.
we might get to
Should
see.
make it better.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like main event like 2 weeks ago. Like you finally had a segment backstage between like the Funkadactyls and Tamina
Oksana.
and Oksana, and it was like, oh, you have just a minor like 45-second segment where they're like, oh, I'm hitting on your boys. You don't touch my man. Let's
Yeah.
have a match. And everyone was into it. And you got the Funkadactyls. Finally, they could fly. Let them
We need
fly,
to see
baby.
more Naomi.
Let the Funkadactyls
Yes,
fly, baby.
Can
no,
we
I
have
love
that?
Naomi.
We
She's,
need
Can you,
she is
lot
can you
more.
do
real
stop
good.
talking to my man one more time?
I was
Don't
really
you
upset.
talk to my man
You do
like
that way too well.
And she went, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that's why I laughed.
Chill out, Kofi. And
You
I was
just
like,
excited
oh, snap.
Martin so much he pulled out a bottle of lotion right there, I
He's
think.
like-
Oh, he's hand
No, it's
sanitizer.
Purell. It's
Sanitizer.
Purell. He feels filthy right now. From
feels
that.
I completely agree with you with Naomi because in the TLC pay-per-view, I was disappointed that it ended the way it did
Yeah.
because she's so good.
Yeah.
Final matchup of the night, the match we've all been waiting for, the main event for the WWE Championship, coming to the ring first, accompanied by Paul Heyman with WWE Championship title in hand.
455 days
CM
today.
Punk. The
Longest
people's-
reign in 25 years.
The
Well
People's
done, Punk.
Champion taking on The Rock. Action right from the get-go. Started right early in the way, man. Punk spits on The Rock's head.
Wow.
It's gross,
Well,
man.
he spit on him. Well,
Hawked a loogie,
and he
man.
did that after they were doing the beat in the corner. He was just sitting there going, come on, take me. He was trying to get him to do the
Wants to
5
get
count.
DQ'd.
trying to get DQ'd. Then he stood up and spit in his face, still trying to get DQ'd. I loved that story of him trying to get trying to make The Rock get himself disqualified.
Excuse me. Yeah, Punk goes up top, ends up hitting the elbow, takes his pulse before hitting the elbow.
Yeah,
I don't know what the symbolism of that one was.
I don't know if he was just goofing off. He got up there and said, "Hey, I'll just say."
And then he checked the time.
It could have been just a spur of the moment, something he felt, and tried something new.
Rock goes for some rock bottoms, but Punk countering with an elbow strike attack. Punk goes off the top rope. Rock ends up hitting rock bottom, but only getting a 2 count. Rock hits the referee, knocking the referee off the ring apron on the outside. Punk scoops Rock up for a GTS and hits it.
1, 2, 3.
But there's no ref there.
No
ref to make the count. Rock able to get control, ends up hitting the people's elbow, this time for a 2 count with the new ref. But the new ref is down also.
I hurt his ankle.
Hurt his ankle. Punk kicks the Rock. Punk then hits Heyman with the ref. Punk hits Heyman. Punk
hits Heyman with the championship belt.
Yeah.
Heyman holds the Rock.
With the ref.
Yeah.
And
Heyman holds the Rock, and Punk comes in to hit Rock with the championship belt, and Rock moves out of the way and hits him.
But first of all, we have a lot of bad luck here in these Punk Rock matches with the Spanish announce table.
That's right. It didn't break.
He sets Rock up for a rock bottom. And the damn table
Rumble,
doesn't
it breaks too early. This one, it doesn't break at all.
Doesn't break at all. So sad.
Yeah, it didn't.
Spanish announce table. Got a vendetta against those
Anyone
two.
think Vince was pissed in the back during that? Or?
No.
Not anymore. Not
Not anymore.
Nah, that didn't affect the match, I don't think. Anyways, the Rock hits that rock bottom again, though, and does eventually get the 3 count.
Yeah, I mean, he saw that coming. He hits him. Heyman goes down, and Punk is surprised, turns right around into it.
And we were all screaming at that point with the 2 refs down. We were all screaming for Brad Maddox.
Yeah, we thought Brad Maddox should be coming into the.
But to me, that would only made sense if he came in to screw over Punk, because he's separated from them a little bit.
Absolutely.
To me,
he should have screwed Punk and counted the 3 count on Punk for the Rock.
But why have the stipulation without
no
just
DQ?
having like the interesting
You don't have to
things
use
in
it
the
just
beginning
because
with
the stipulation is
spitting?
there.
But they used that with the story in the beginning where he
Just
was
in the beginning.
But I mean,
It
that's
didn't have
all
any
you need.
effect on the end. Like he's still.
It doesn't have to have an effect on it. It had effect on the match. It's fine.
Minor effect.
No, that whole
Josh got a
spitting, the
little
whole
upset.
The spitting in the beginning.
the whole
yes.
opening of the match, the whole part of the match where The Rock is getting over on Punk, was that whole story.
But
of
why
him
not?
trying
Why
to get
not
DQ'd
affect the
until
ending of the
Punk
match?
takes over.
Let's have some controversy. Let's have some spectacle.
Can't always
stuff.
have controversy.
And because you're expecting that.
I was
Yeah.
happy
You know,
with
it's-
the ending.
it's-
I mean,
I thought it was a lot
I thought it
better
was fine.
than
I like
The finish was
Royal
good.
Rumble
The
ending.
finish was good.
I was
better than Rumble, but that ain't
for
saying
sure.
much.
I was
right?
a fan of the pay-per-view. I thought it was very good.
Fantastic
The
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view
Solid
was
pay-per-view.
phenomenal.
I
Solid
liked it.
pay-per-view.
We didn't really see Swagger winning, and that was huge.
Nope.
We all saw The Rock winning, but I
think 10 months from now, this still could be up for pay-per-view of the year. It was a solid pay-per-view.
This is the
very,
first time
very
that
solid.
This is the first time that I remember thinking that Chamber was better than Rumble.
Wow.
Yeah, it was better than Rumble. I mean, it's absolutely.
See, I
better
thought
than
Rumble was great, guys.
Rumble
I mean,
was-
everyone.
I'm not
I
putting
know
down
everyone
Rumble.
hated the finishes on the
Well,
two
I had
matches,
no problem with
but the
any of the
pay-per-view itself was
finishes here.
phenomenal. On
I thought
Rumble.
it was all great matches.
The
I
Del
thought
Rio match was better in Rumble too. Yeah.
this whole pay-per-view I thought was booked really well.
Me too, I
This
agree.
was far booked better than Rumble. Rumble was good, but this was. There wasn't really much wrong with it tonight.
And now you got
Very little
so
to
many
complain
different
about.
stories that they're able to build off of this pay-per-view
Right.
and then tomorrow night
Well,
on Raw
I'm
and
s-
SmackDown.
I'm
Yeah,
s-
absolutely.
I'm surprised that Ziggler didn't cash in.
A lot of people, I think, surprised,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I think they're going to
sure.
play with us on this.
Yeah.
You know what? The one thing I was kind of surprised with the pre-match, kind of going back to that where we had Bros and Tensai, we've had for the last several weeks all the buildup of Barrett and Bo.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, you're right. No
and
Barrett and
none of
Bo.
that at all. Like that would have made sense to have the pre-match.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people left off this pay-per-view.
That's
I mean,
very true.
there's definitely space on the roster for people to try to make some impact and try to get some WrestleMania paydays in. I mean,
Maybe they're looking to build that up for WrestleMania though, Barrett and Bo for one of the matches early on the card.
Maybe.
well, Monday Night Raw tomorrow night should be hot. We should get some follow-up, find out what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good. I mean, following up tonight.
I believe they say it's going to be The Rock's last broadcast for a few weeks.
Is it?
He's going to be off for the next few
Okay.
weeks shooting
Shocking.
some
He's
He's a
movies.
busy man, you know.
He's very he's got G.I. When's G.I. Joe coming out?
March 20th.
I think it's pretty
soon.
soon.
And then
right?
it's-
Yeah.
But then he's got Pain and Gain.
He's got
And the
Snitch,
other
Danny
one,
Gaines got
yeah.
Snitch.
Fast Six.
I mean,
yeah.
he's
got-
right on time.
Is Fast 6 out this summer?
He's got like
right?
he's got
In May,
6 movies
Memorial Day.
coming out in the next 6 months. It's
crazy.
insane.
Unfortunately, I won't be here for Buzzing After Raw, the bar tomorrow.
I won't be either.
I don't think I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Got some work to do. Got some projects
We
I'm
have
working
a little
on.
fill-in tomorrow.
But we have
right?
the voice of choice.
It's myself and Josh, and we'll see if
And Cupcake will be here, I
Cupcake
think.
be back?
I think Cupcake will be here
Well,
tomorrow.
then the three of us will be rocking it.
Maybe you can get Mr. Phil in there.
Or maybe we can get Mr. Martin to sit in, get Phil to
The professor.
to run the show.
And that's about it. I'm not really pushing personal plugs right now. Hopefully tomorrow, you guys may be able to announce we'll have something cool possibly going on this week. Like what we were supposed to. We were supposed to have a cool video last week. We never ended up shooting, so we'll see if that pans out and comes to fruition.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. March 24th, King of Flight.
Plugging away the
Plugging away.
shows.
Great, amazing
IamSmiley.com,
tournament
the
gonna be here in
Twitter.
Southern California.
Showtime Josh at Cluminator, at CRosieVOC, right?
That's right.
And then what's mine? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Glorious. You better follow me.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily follow
Hey,
people
I
that
follow you.
I know that doesn't mean anything, but maybe.
Okay.
And I'm Smiley. Anyways, this has been your AfterBuzz TV after show recap for WWE's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. On behalf of Showtime, the Colonel, the voice of choice, Kaori, and yours truly, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, Birdie.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Believe in the Shield!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.